Managing VAT expenses for UAE and Saudi Arabia. In this presentation, we'll discuss about managing VAT expenses in Busy. This presentation is created specifically for UAE and Saudi Arabia clients. Under this presentation, we'll see how you can record VAT related entries in Busy. For managing VAT expenses in Busy, you need to follow basically 3 steps. First is creating expense account and specifying VAT related details in it. Next, recording expenses through journal or payment voucher, and then checking reflection of VAT and other expenses in VAT reports. The first step is specifying VAT related details in expense account. If you have already created expense account, then you can open them in modify mode and specify VAT related details. Otherwise, here we are creating a new expense account by going to administration masters account add option. We are specifying account name as car servicing, its group as expenses indirect. Specify Y in the VAT applicable field if VAT is applicable for this particular expense. Then next we'll specify the tax category as 5% or exempt. We are taking tax category as 5%. Basically, in the tax category you have to specify the rate at which VAT is applicable either directly or through RCM. Then specify VAT tax code, and then in the ITC eligibility field specify Y if VAT input is available on this account. Click save button to save this account master. Next we'll discuss about recording of expense entries through various vouchers. For this, you can use either journal voucher or payment voucher. We are recording expense entries using journal voucher by going to transaction journal add option. Specify voucher series, voucher date. Next is VAT nature. In this, you can see 4 options are appearing. First is not applicable. Select this option if VAT is not applicable for this transaction. RCM unregistered expense. Select this option if expense is incurred from unregistered dealer. Registered expense, select this option if expense is incurred from a registered dealer and you have paid VAT on it, but later on you can get input for the same. Exempt, select this option if expense incurred is exempted from VAT and needs to be reflected in VAT reports. Here we are selecting RCM unregistered expense. Basically, VAT supplies will be calculated on RCM unregistered expense and will be reflected in VAT returns under supplies subject to reverse charge head. We are debiting office maintenance expense account. If we open the office maintenance expense account in modify mode, you can see VAT applicable yes, tax category as 5% and ITC eligibility no. Coming back to journal voucher, we'll credit the cash account and click save button to save the voucher. Next, we are entering one more journal voucher. Here we are taking VAT nature as registered expense B2B. Basically, tax paid expense will be treated as input tax and will be adjusted in output tax under VAT reports. We are debiting car servicing account, we are debiting VAT input account, and we are crediting bank account. On clicking the save button, a registered expense window will appear in which first of all we'll select the party. Basically, from this party we have done the car servicing, then account name, purchase invoice number, purchase bill date, taxable amount, VAT percentage, VAT amount, and then ITC eligibility which we have specified yes. Click save button to save this transaction. Next we are entering one more journal voucher. Here we are taking the VAT nature as exempt expense. Exempt expense will be reflected in VAT reports as exempt supplies. We are debiting the traveling expense account. If we open the traveling expense account in modify mode, you can see tax category is specified as exempt. Coming back to journal voucher, we are crediting the cash account and now clicking the save button to save the journal voucher. As we have done entries through journal voucher, similarly you can record these entries using payment voucher. In the payment voucher, you can see all the VAT natures are appearing, so it's up to you. Either you can record expense entries using journal voucher or payment voucher. Till now we have discussed about recording expense entries using various voucher. Now we'll discuss about various VAT reports available in Busy. For this we'll go to display menu, VAT report sections. Under VAT reports you can see a lot of VAT reports are appearing like UAE VAT reports, VAT summaries, VAT registers and all. First of all, we'll go to UAE VAT reports and we'll select the RCM tax register option. On selecting this option, we'll specify a starting date, ending date and tax rate for RCM which is 5%. Click OK button. On clicking the OK button, Busy has shown a journal entry which we have entered for the RCM unregistered expense. If we press enter key on this particular entry, then you can see Busy has drilled down the report to the voucher level, and it is the same voucher which we have entered for the RCM unregistered expense. Next, we will go to VAT returns option. We are selecting VAT returns option, specifying starting date, ending date, and here on the screen you can see complete VAT return. First is standard rate expenses, which is showing 2 entries. If we press enter key on the first entry, then it is showing the journal voucher entered for registered expense B2B. And if we press enter key on the second entry, it's showing journal voucher entered for exempt expense. Next is supply subject to reverse charge. It's showing the entry we have entered for RCM unregistered expense, and then is net tax payable, that is output tax minus input tax. Next, we'll have a look at the VAT summary by going to VAT summaries, VAT summary option. Here on the screen you can see complete VAT summary is appearing. Opening balance, local sales at 5%, local purchases at 5%, exempt, and then is net tax payable. So in this presentation we have discussed about creating expense accounts, specifying VAT related details in them, recording expense entries, and finally viewing VAT related reports. Hope after going through this presentation you would be able to easily manage expense entries in Busy. Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.